Okay, so this has been one of my favorite shoots so far in 2021, minimalist street photography. Let's talk about it. All right, so you've seen minimalist street photography online. You've heard a lot about minimalist street photography. Matter of fact, you've even tried minimalist street photography. And the results in the end were just all right. I want to challenge you today to give it another shot, just like I did. See, for a long time, my biggest pet peeve with minimalist street photography was this idea of promoting perfection, which I felt took away from the actual story that you were trying to tell. Like, street photography, from my point of view, was, in the moment, and it was gritty, and there was mistakes to be made and to be captured. But obviously this is not true, or at the very least, it's subjective. Matter of fact, I found that there were so many elements of minimalism in my photography already. So once I opened up my mind to the possibilities of incorporating certain aspects of minimalism into my style of street photography, I fell in love with the process. It was like I added a new lens to my camera, and I felt excited and motivated to get out there and see what I could actually document and capture. So let's go over a few things that I learned while out shooting, so that the next time you hit the streets, you know exactly what to do and what to look for. Simplicity. Overall, your goal and your mindset here should be less is more. If you feel like your frame is too full, then it probably is. Don't overcomplicate things for yourself or your viewer. Negative space. So basically the area around your main subject that draws your eye back to the focal point. So the obvious example of this would be shooting on a foggy day, and then you have your one tree solo sitting in the corner of your image. All that negative space, that's the fog, is bringing your eye back to that solo tree in the corner. Composition still matters. Where you place your subject is going to be vital in keeping the audience's attention and focusing in on the story that you're trying to tell. But don't force it, because we'll definitely feel that in the image. I still like to use the rule of thirds as a guideline. It really helps find where my subject should anchor in the image so that we can bring the viewer back to that point of interest. But just remember, rule of thirds is just a guideline. If you actually feel the subject should be dead center, then run that. Okay, quick tip. Sometimes all your image needs is a change in perspective. So if you're shooting in landscape, switch it to portrait mode. And if you're shooting in portrait mode, maybe switch it to landscape. Either way, that little change might work out to tell the better story. Eliminating distractions. What stays and what goes? This is a decision you gotta make, and you gotta make it yourself. A quick way to ease the pressure on making those decisions on the fly is to give your frame a little bit more leeway or wiggle room. So therefore in post, you can make those adjustments if you need to, or you can add or subtract. Contrast, simple colors and shapes. So creating contrast or giving your images a lot of layers or texture really depends on the sun. What time of day are you shooting? Or more importantly, is the sun actually out? And if it's out, how bright is it? Because that pop of color that you're looking for might come best in the morning or in the evening, depending on how strong the sun is in the sky. So think about that next time you're out shooting. Check that weather. And finally, patience. So we can't stress this enough. The more patient you are at a scene, the better chance you have of creating that image that you composed in your mind. Only through that are you guaranteed to increase your chances of taking a timeless image. Okay, so question of the day, what's your experience shooting minimalist street? Do you do it all the time? Barely ever? Not interested? Just let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear where you stand with minimalist street photography. All right, so I hope that video helped you out a little bit if you needed it. The reality is this is my takeaway. The more you practice other types of photography, the better your photography gets. So until the next video, stay creative and believe in yourself. Peace.